YouTube again. This is Super Person, and I'm here to do another update on my saltwater tank. So today I went out, and it's been a couple days, right? It's been 3 days. This will be the third day the tank's been actually up and going. And I've now went out to do the next step. And this is what you guys should do too if you're doing the same thing. So I got some live rock. Now let me show you the live rock. Okay. The live rock is in a bag. If you haven't bought saltwater fish before, they give it to you. They stick it in the bag. It's completely dry. There's no water in the bag. But don't worry, it's not going to hurt the live rock. There's nothing really living on it. Okay, it's complicated, but it won't hurt the live rock. So I'm just trying to explain if you've never had live rock before. So what you have to do is, remember the whole water thing? The fact that, you know, the rock's going to displace the water. Like, let me show you. Like, I'll take the rock out. Alright, so here's a piece of live rock. Now you know a good live rock when you see it because you really want to have good colors on it. Not really the greens, you don't really want green. You want to see purples, reds, pinks. Those are coralline algae. You really want to find that. But you can tell this rock has really been aged. It's got a lot of like red coralline algae growing on it. And also be wary that you may get the hitchhiker on live rock. So make sure you don't see any like nuisance anemones growing in the tank or anything you don't want in your tank. So I don't see anything on this rock. It looks fine. So what you do is you just basically stick it in the tank. Wow, this water's really hot. Okay, so you stick it in the tank. So as I just did, I stuck it in the tank. Okay, so that's one. And the water feels really warm to me. Let me check. And it's running okay. You want your tank to be about, in temperature-wise, about 78 to 80, depending on what you have inside of it. So it's running about 78, 9-ish, so that's fine. It just feels a lot warmer than I remember. Like, my goodness. But, yeah, so that's the beginning of it. Let me clip this really quick. Okay, so I'm going to continue putting the rocks inside the water. Now I'm going to take out my hydrometer that sort of accidentally fell. Oh, by the way, make sure your hands are clean before you stick them inside the tank. Make sure they're clean. You don't want anything foreign in the tank. I think it may be too salty. Look at that, see? That's like ridiculous. I think I need to change that. But anyway. Okay, so you go ahead and you continue adding rocks to your tank. So, and you put it where you like it. Really, it's not anything crazy. You just put it where you like it. I like the whole towering thing when I do rocks, so I'm going to attempt to make a type of tower. Not a tower, a cave. I like caves with rocks. Lots of caves. Caves are fun. So I'm going to try and make a cave is what I meant to say. Alright, so you just kind of put them in here. You may see stuff fall off it. Don't worry. It'll just add into the cycle here. It's not a big thing. Now if you want to do a cave, make sure you have bigger base rocks. Or bigger rocks for the base. And then you want to take smaller rocks to kind of connect them together. Basically. And a lot of the rocks will sort of like link into each other. If you got like, my favorite rocks are branchy ones, just for the fact that they link in together really well. Don't get too many, especially if you have a small tank like this. You don't know how big, like how many rocks are going to fit. And I thought these looked like a lot of rocks, but honestly, now I'm seeing it, it's not that bad. Once again, I'm trying to make a little cave, so those will be connected at some point here. Only got one more rock. Drop the bag. Oh, okay. See, real branchy, real cool looking. So I go ahead and I stick it in here. And look at that. Make sure if you're doing the cave thing that it won't fall. You want to find, you know, touch it. Make sure when you're touching it, it's stable and not wiggling like crazy. So that seems okay. Okay. Okay, so that's the next step. Get you some live rocks. Obviously, that isn't enough live rock. It's not. I'm going to get a lot more, but it's a beginning step. I'm not going to get any more now. You get it later. So just get enough live rock. I got a pound. So we're doing a 5-gallon tank, depending on what size rock you're getting. For these little ones, I got almost 2 pounds. So get around 2 pounds of rock. And then you have a nice little beginning of your rock scape. And you can kind of do whatever you want. I do the cave thing. You can put them all over. You can leave them against the wall. It's kind of up to you. Anyway, so let me cut this out. So that is that part. Cut this into another video. Hold on. Okay, so also, on a side note, when I went to the pet store, it's a local fish store where I live in Michigan, I got my water tested just because, I mean, you know, why not? And when I got the water tested, it showed that my pH was low and my salinity was too high. So I just did a little itty-bitty water change where I took water out in the cup, you know. Water changes are pretty self-explanatory. You take water out, you put new water in, you put prime in it. And when I was doing that, I put this in there. See? And this is just a marine buffer. I used it before when I had a saltwater tank, and it just kind of raises your pH and tries to bring it to 8.3. Because mine was like 7.9, which is pretty low for a saltwater tank. So I did that. As a suggestion to you guys, when you start up a tank, before you get anything, I mean, you can get the live rock, but even when you get the live rock, you want to test it and make sure it's okay, because the live rock isn't going to be very live if you kill it with horrible pH and horrible salinity. So I would say, you know, get test kits yourself or bring it to a store and do it either way. Like, I have the ammonia test kit, you already know, but they do everything right there, so it's just easier. So, guys, remember to get your water tested or you test it yourself before you really get into anything. Also, he suggested instead of having charcoal in my filter, which I was pretty sure charcoal wasn't a good thing for saltwater tanks. I mean, it cleans it up, but you're not supposed to keep it in there. So, he suggested to get this. He said it helps get rid of nitrates, I believe, is what he said. So it's a little pack, and he said just to take it out of my filter. So instead of charcoal, he totally suggested this. It, like, you know, it's amazing is what he said. So I don't really know much about it, so I can't explain it. All I know is it tries to keep nitrites down, which he said in many tanks can be bad. I never had an issue with that in my little tank, but, you know, he's more of an expert than I am. I'm really not an expert. So yeah, here's the beginning of it, rocks and stuff. Also, because I'm trying to go all out this time, I looked online, if you saw my little add-on comment from my other video, I looked online, and though the tank gets mixed reviews itself because it's so expensive and you don't really get that much, the light itself is not good for much of anything. I mean, it's an LED light, don't get me wrong, and LEDs are great when you get good LEDs, but this LED, I thought it would be okay, but that tells you how much I know. I'm not an expert, people, I'm really not. I know from experience, like, I've learned from fish with trial and error, not anything, I don't read, I mean, I've read stuff, but, you know, I'm not an expert, people, so when I thought this light was good, I really did. I thought, you know, this light would be good, but then I read reviews and people, you have to upgrade your light if you want coral, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the light, and I actually already did. I went out today when I went to get this and the rocks. I went and got this. See? Now this is a T5. I've had T5s before. They're good lights. I never had one good enough to have really good coral. I had one good enough to do, like, soft coral, mushrooms, you know, no SPS, no LPS, no anemones, no hard. But, you know, I asked them, you know, what do they suggest? Because, I mean, I don't really know what to get. I mean, there's arguments between LEDs and metal halides are the best. But, you know, argument between, you know, LEDs that are good and which ones are bad and T5s. And they said with this T5, I could have anything in the tank. So I'm going to just kind of hope that they're right. I mean, I had T5s before, my 29-gallon. I couldn't have anything in the tank. I could have some things in the tank. But they said because of the depth of the tank and how small it is, this would just be amazing. So I went ahead and got the 20-inch T5, and they're high output ones. It has a blue and a white. No moonlights, sadly, which means I'll have to do an upgrade later to get little moonlights added. But he said that would be inexpensive, which is nice because this itself cost $100. So I'll let you guys know how I like this light. I don't really know much about it. All I know is it's T5s. I've had them before, like I said, so I know basically what T5s look like. So, yeah, T5s. So yeah, if you're planning to use this tank as a coral tank like me, Really, you know, you don't have to. If you want to fish only with live rock, this tank, the lights it has would be fine for fish only with live rock. But whenever I do saltwater tanks, I'm not sure if you guys think the same, but when I do saltwater tanks, I like reefs. Reefs are pretty. I mean, I like to go all out. So I thought this time I'm going to do everything I can to make a nice reef tank, put the money into it. Like, money really gets you far in a reef tank. You know, you get what you pay for, and you get cheap lights, which means you won't get nice coral. So, if I were to suggest it, I guess so far I suggest this light, because the light that's on the tank will not work, so I totally suggest this light as a light to get so far. I don't really know much about it, I can't really suggest it, but I'm just going to say it's better than what I have on there. So I got that. And that'll be mounted on the top. It's 20 inches, which means it'll actually go over here too, but that's okay. So, that's basically the update. I got rock, got a light, and I'll show you what the light looks like. In a second, I can clip that together for you. So let me show what the light looks like. Alright guys, so it took me a minute to get the light up. I will admit that light is slightly annoying to put together, because you have to unscrew a lot of things to get the legs on and to get the plastic off the light, but after like, I don't know, 15-20 minutes of me messing with it, I finally got it sitting on the tank. And I have to say, it fits just right. Like, it was 20 inches, it just fits my tank, see? Just fits it. But look at that light. I mean, wow. That is some intense lighting. Like, it just glows. It glows more in the camera than it does in real life, but this is a bright light, and it's got two bulbs. Obviously one's the antennic and one's the normal white. And no moonlights, like I said, but it just fits. So if you get this tank, I will say it just fits. It hangs off a little bit at the legs, see? The legs aren't really sturdy with this because of the fact it hangs a little, but it is a nice light. I mean, it really, like, brings out the colors, sort of. But yeah, so excited, got my new light. It's right, invest in it. Looks nice. And I can't wait to start getting corals and stuff, but that'll be a while. But yeah, so here's my tank. An update for you guys. So, if you have any questions, of course you can ask me. Once again, I'm not an expert, but I have messed with fish for a little while, so if you have any questions about like setting up a small tank, I can let you know. Even a big tank, I have some ideas. I've made a sump before, stuff like that. So I know a little bit. I'm not an expert, but yeah, so any questions, feel free to ask, and here's the beginning of my thing. I'll update in a couple days or whenever something actually happens. So here you go, guys. My Nano experience.